we rolling right now?
We are rolling.
Oh my god. All right, so I think that's our intro. That could definitely be like the intro video. All right, so now that we're rolling. Episode 1, Stuck in Storage. We have none other than Sam Campolo, KW Realty. He's absolutely crushing it. If I'm not mistaken, top agent this year, or top rising agent this year.
Yes.
That is insane, man. So the whole name of the game with this podcast, in my opinion, is definitely going to be your personal struggles, who you are, and how everything just transitioned into real estate, and then we can go from there. So how'd you get started, and even before real estate, where'd life take you?
Yeah. Well, it depends on how far you want to go back.
Let's go all the way back. I want it all. I want the real, the not pretty. Maybe
Sure.
if we start crying, I'll cry too.
So I went to college in Oneonta, and as I was there, I was kind of just learning about myself. Of course, that's what people go to college for. I joined a fraternity. In the fraternity, I became the recruitment chair, then the vice president, then the president, and then I was the president of all the fraternities on campus.
So you literally just climbed the ladder.
Yeah, it was, and I had so much fun doing it.
Oh, of course.
Like so
I'm
much
sure
fun.
you have crazy stories that we'll talk about off camera.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, and I just always liked being in a position of leadership or helping people get through things. And during college, we had an issue where the fraternity grew from a 20-person fraternity when I joined to then, when I was president, 70 people.
And that was all because of the structures and things that you put in place to actually start
not just
growing.
me. I mean, there's, plenty of other people, vice president, secretary, all people that were all working systems go. Everyone was like, everything was on fire.
That's insane.
And just the crazy thing was think about if you're, for example, Cardinal, right? You're a business.
Yep.
Imagine you have how many people right now in this office?
In this office, we have, oh my God, I'd say 18, but when we started, we had like 4.
Okay, so you had 18 people, right? Let's say tomorrow, or let's say in 6 months, 18 turns to 70. Would that make a huge dynamic shift?
We would go bananas.
Yeah.
We could hardly even keep ourselves just sane with 18 people. Now imagine managing and doing all of that for 70. Yeah, I would go absolutely bananas.
Exactly. So that's kind of where we were at. It was like, okay, we have all these new kids. Everyone's trying to learn, honestly, people's names. It was so weird because, we were 20 kids. Everyone knew everyone, and we knew our backstories.
Nice and homey and
yeah. So it was a dynamic shift that definitely made me into who I am today, trying to learn how to manage this many people. And the problem with being a fraternity president is you're not only managing business, you're managing business and friendships.
which is, in my opinion, the hardest thing, because there's a very fine line between business and friendship, and I feel like the best leaders and managers have to play both sides, but also keep individual roles at the same time.
Right. So, you have problems where, they're supposed to be going to an event on campus and they don't go. And then you got to be the bad guy to be like, hey, you can't come to, whatever we're doing.
The next party or whatever it is. And then it's almost like if the people don't realize your role and they don't respect your role, those kids are going to be like, oh yeah, I don't like this kid anymore. And then you almost lose a friend. And it's like, well, did I even want you in the first place? Because you should have been there, bro.
Exactly. So from that, I was going to graduate. It was about we were about 6 months out, and I got a call from an IT recruiting firm, and I was speaking with them, and everything went well. I had a job offer. I was going to accept it, and then COVID, and then I was home. It was spring break,
Gosh.
So we were about to graduate, and yeah, I get a call and saying, oh, school's gonna be, we're just gonna stop it for another week, and then me and my girlfriend get so excited. We're like, we get one more week. We get an extra week. So I actually wind up, because we had an extra week. I said to my parents, I was like, why don't we go down to Delray, because they have a second home there. It's like, let's go down and hang out. So we went down there, trying to escape New York, because COVID was starting to become like
Especially where you are, because you're in that Westchester, right in that county. So that was literally like the epicenter of New York.
Yep. So it was starting to get pretty crazy. So we went to Florida. We were there for not even like 3 or 4 days. And then Florida began to shut everything down. So New York started shutting stuff down. And so we tried to escape to go to Florida to not get everything shut down. Everything gets shut down in Florida. So
now you're almost like landlocked.
We are.
No matter where you are, you can't. So now, did they lift the travel restrictions for you guys to come back, or no? Were you guys just
no,
completely
we were locked. Yeah, no.
Oh
Well, I mean, we
gosh.
could have drove home, but there was no reason why it's it's great weather. But here's the thing. Everybody has this thought where like, oh yeah, but you got trapped in Florida. That's amazing. Okay, imagine being in Florida. You can't go to a single restaurant. You can't go to the beach. The beaches were closed. You literally can't do anything. The only thing you could do was walk. So me and my girlfriend would just walk. That's it.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. We had
Probably
like
see
this,
the empty streets.
like a 2-mile walk every day because that's all you could do. And then we just come home and like hang out. We couldn't even go into the pool where my parents' townhouse is. Like, it was
Because
that bad.
everything was just
Yeah.
locked.
Couldn't go in the pool. Couldn't go to the beach. So imagine it's so hot. You want to drink a margarita and hang by the pool. You can't.
Yeah, I would freak out because I love my margaritas.
Yeah.
I need them.
So I don't know what's worse, being stuck in New York with the snow, but you can still like kind of do things. I don't know.
I know, I agree. Me personally, I would rather be stuck in Florida only because you at least have that opportunity. Listen, if I want to go grab a breath
go
of fresh
outside.
air,
Yeah,
you could at least
you
go
could.
for your 2-hour walks. When all that happened, I was in New York and I stayed in New York. Me and my girlfriend at the time literally had nothing to do.
Really?
We would just sit in my little apartment at the time, and it got bad because we weren't allowed outside. It wasn't nice. We couldn't really go do much, and it definitely took a toll, I'm sure, on so many people. I know it definitely did for me.
Yeah. So to jump back to everything, after the whole, COVID was still going on. And I should mention that before this whole thing happened, I was also going through a big mental shift in my head. One of my good friends actually in Patchogue, who lives in Patchogue, he passed away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was
Sorry to hear.
it was a very hard time for me. And coming back here was weird too, because the last time I was here was a really sad time.
So I mean, hopefully we can make better memories so you can keep coming back.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal, baby.
But it really threw me through a loop, and that was when all this was going on as well with the job, and I wasn't really sure. And I kind of took a step back, and when COVID happened, there was nothing really to do, so I started reading. I started picking up books. I started meditating, like going back to like, your core of stuff that like you really wanted to do and just never did.
Of course.
Right? Mind you, I also left my Xbox and everything at home, so I was in Florida with no video games either.
So you really had no choice but to level up your mind and level up who you actually were going to be at one point.
Which I'm very thankful for.
Of course, sometimes you have to let go of your leisure to actually work on yourself, which is the hardest thing to do. But
Right.
now we're here.
So then after that, the offer that I had for the IT, took it back. So
They were full rescinded of the offer.
full rescind of the offer. Same thing happened to my girlfriend. She was going to be a paralegal. Full rescind of the offer. So I was like, okay. I had this business when I was 18, selling shirts, and I loved it. It was called Coastal Clothing, and it was
That's actually a pretty catchy name.
yeah,
Not bad.
it was a lot of fun. Like, our shirt said Coastal on it, had a wave, and it was like that like nice aqua blue color.
Oh yeah, I would have bought
Yeah.
1,000 of them because that's literally my favorite. I'm all in blues no matter what.
Oh, no way. Well, I still have extra if you want
So
to just
then
have
let me
one.
know. Yeah.
We don't
Maybe we'll
we
bring it
don't really
back.
sell them anymore. But yeah, after the whole so after Coastal, I realized that I loved having my own business. And then I was like, okay, well, what can I do that I believe in? Like, what's something that I could really see myself doing for the rest of my life? And once I figured that out, that it was really working with people and having my own business, that's where I transferred into real estate. But the moment that I started learning real estate, I got my license. Well, I passed the test.
Did you pass on the first try?
Yeah, I did.
Very nice.
Then-
some people can't do that.
But I'm telling you, that day that I passed, I had 2 people call me. One was the Keller Williams that I'm at now, and the other person was that IT recruiting firm. I swear to God, same day.
Oh my gosh.
So they offered me back the job with more money than before as a sorry. And then the real estate company was like, okay, you come to work for me. So then I had this like huge like shift. I'm like, okay, am I going to work at a 9 to 5 and just do this to make money so I can get my investment properties and go from there? Or am I going to really make myself learn during this time and build my own business and build my own thing and push myself? So of course, you have your parents in the back of your head and everyone that's
take
like,
the 9 to 5.
Yeah, take the 9 to 5.
Take it easy.
Yes.
Everything's gonna be fine, and you never know what's gonna happen.
Yes,
Trust me, I've been there a million times.
Yep. So it was like everybody was just take 9 to 5. It's right there. And I decided no. I'm like, no, I'm gonna go push myself and do something that I really believe in. So now here I am, and I'm doing real estate, and I love it.
So how long have you been doing real estate?
Now it would be a little over 2 years, and just over 10 million sold.
That's insane. So that's no joke why you literally are the fastest growing in KW.
Yeah.
So now let's take it a couple steps back. When you had that fork in the road and you were choosing your path, like what were your honest thoughts going through that whole process? Like what was internally going on in you to like make you almost make or break that decision?
Well, I forgot to mention that I worked at a recruiting firm previously.
Okay.
I interned there, and I just didn't feel. I didn't believe in the product that I was selling at all.
And I feel like that's a big thing for sales.
Yeah.
Especially with people with morals.
I'm reading Zig Ziglar's book right now about closing the sale, and his biggest thing is believe in what you do. If you don't believe in what you do, then you're not a good salesman.
I agree.
Or you're not selling the right product. It's
literally
one of the two things. So I don't believe in recruiting. Personally, I feel like a company can just hire either their own internal recruiter or they can do it themselves. I don't really see the full need for a recruitment firm to come in and then you pay them extra money. It didn't connect with me. Some people think it's great. That's awesome.
No, of course.
I personally, it just didn't sync well with me. So I think that was something that really made me decide, hey, this isn't really the right thing for me. And also, I felt like the people that were around me at that recruiting job, it was all money. And when I was 18 years old, money is awesome. Like, I want money. Yeah.
You get the nice cars, take your girlfriend out, do a million things, the
Rolex,
blah, 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 blah.
But that was 18. And then it took me some time to realize, like, hey, money isn't everything. Relationships was where your real life is built. Yep. Your life is based on experiences. And yes, money can buy you more experiences, but if you have no one to enjoy them with,
what's the point?
What's the point?
Exactly. And not so many people think like that. Everybody's like, oh yeah, I'll worry about that when I'm rich and famous. Yeah, okay. Have fun in your mansion by yourself.
Yeah, by yourself.
When there's a million rooms and you have no one to actually laugh with or enjoy around the holidays or whatever it is.
Exactly.
And I was listening to, and shout out Mike Totino for this one. He's a home inspector on Long Island, completely crushes it. But he says, nobody is ever self-made. You are help-made through the relationships, because no matter what it is, you're going to help someone achieve their goal, but in return, hopefully they do the same thing back to you. Now you do that with 5, 10, 15, 20 people, and that just keeps growing your network and expanding from there. And that hit me deep, because everybody always goes and, we all watch the Instagrams and TikToks, and they're like, I was a self-made millionaire, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, how many people did you either step on and crush, or how many people did you truly help and helped you back to get to where you were? So I don't really even believe in self-made, because of, like you said, it's all about the relationships. Life is totally about the experiences. And I resonate with that so much. So back on track to, the whole real estate thing. With recruiting now, what are your goals with real estate? Do you want to scale a true team? Do you want to be that solo agent that kind of just does its thing? Like, what are your goals in, 5, 10, 15 years?
So my main goal is to grow my team to a 7th level team where I can then distance myself from the team and it can run and operate as a business and a passive income stream for myself.
Of course.
That is definitely like a 5-year plan. But once I get there, then of course have a couple investment properties, hopefully 2 to 5 investment properties on the back end. Now I have these passive income streams coming in so that I can do my real goal, which is business coaching.
Very nice. And I feel like a lot of your podcasts and a lot of your videos almost gear you towards that.
Yeah, because I love it. Like it's a true passion of mine. And I know that I'm just beginning, so to have more experience and show, hey, I built my business to X, Y, and Z. I can do the same for you. I think is big. And I can't be a business coach now because I need to learn the steps as to how to really grow and struggle and do, which there's a lot of struggling and growing your own business.
Yeah.
A lot. You think a 9 to 5 is a lot of time. I mean, when you're growing your own business, it's every hour of every waking day.
And sometimes you don't even get the pay that a regular 9 to 5 employee
No.
would, and you're working 12 hours, 14 hours, 16-hour days, weekends, holidays, whatever it is.
But you're investing that time
into yourself.
Yes, you're although you're not making the money in the beginning, you're investing the time because you know you're going to make triple, quadruple, 5, 6, 7, 8 times the amount if you really invest in yourself. But who was it that said you should invest everything you have into yourself? There was an actual. I can't
remember it either. But my mom literally said it since I was so young.
Maybe it was her.
I would hope so. I mean, this is exactly why, part of the reason of why I worked so hard now to have that easy life later. And I remember getting up to school, and I would hate going to school. I was so smart in school, studious. I would get A's and everything, AP classes back in high school. And she would always say, Johnny, one day you're working so hard now that you're going to love life later. And I'm like, it resonates so much more now, especially with this conversation, because it truly is. There was days, and I'm sure you've had them, where the paychecks weren't coming in, but you're calling these leads, you're going out and networking, you're doing everything that you possibly could, but you're literally almost in a sense stuck in storage.
Yeah.
Like you can't move. You're trapped.
Yeah.
But then eventually things start getting better, and you get that first sale, or that lead finally calls you back, or whatever it is. Even if you're just trying to make a new friend or a new relationship, they finally answer you back like, hey, I would love to meet up. That's great. So no matter what it is, especially in business, like, I think persistence is really key. Persistence and consistency.
Yeah. And once you finally get that first referral, like someone that you worked with, and then they're a raving fan, that they'll come back and say, I will absolutely send you my business, of other people that I know in my sphere. Feels so good.
It's like literally a crack.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, like this was like such an endorphin rush. It's like, holy shit, like and then you take it a step further. And I personally, like, the people that I work with on a business level, they're all family at one point. They're all meeting my parents. They're all meeting my closest people to me. Like, we're going out to dinners, we're hanging out, we're even, playing the video games, whatever it is. Well, I always try to find something in common to make it not just business.
Yeah.
Because there had, again, that fine line of friendship and business, but I feel like if it can mesh together well, it creates a beautiful experience that is everlasting.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is being able to manage those two. Because a lot of the times when you are running your own business, you put your business first before friends. Unfortunately, in the beginning, sometimes you have to do that. It's sad to say, but in the beginning, when you're growing, like, that's really the only thing. You only have time for your business, and
not too many people get that, and a lot of people get scornful to that. Like, I could show you a list of Snapchats, Instagram DMs. Like, one of my buddies, I haven't talked to him in a year at least, just because times have drifted, and I'm really focusing on my brand and my business. He's like, dude, I haven't seen you in so long. He's like, but I see all your Instagram content. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, dude, exactly that. Like, I'm literally grinding every single day as you're, doing this and going to the same bars. I'm like, listen, I still love you, but I'm working on something different. So hopefully one day I can bring you in and we could do exactly that, like we used to, hang out, work together, and do it all over again.
Right.
But people just don't get it sometimes. And that to me is a little frustrating, because it's like, I don't want to be like everybody else. And I'm sure you don't either. And that's why we're in these positions, to grind and hustle to keep moving forward.
Yep.
So now business coaching is to me almost lucrative, but because I see like all these big people. Like, we just went to an event yesterday where they were like pitching this course, and it was like it was really salesy. So like, I want to do the same thing that you do, because my passion is teaching, learning, but I don't want it to be about that monetary value. Well,
that's what's great, is if you're a really good coach and you see a lot of potential in someone and you want to just help them just for the sake of help. I think that's the big thing that I didn't mention. The reason why I want my team to be where it is, and I want the investment properties where they are, is that so I don't feel like I'm strapped for money and I need to ask for a boatload of money to be able to be a business coach.
Because some of these classes are like $1,500 for a 30-minute session.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can go read a book for free.
Yeah. I totally agree. That's what I mean, is I love doing, like, I love coaching people through business, through life, through everything, really. And I find that if money isn't involved to a big extent, then it's just a better, impactful experience.
No, of course. And listen, nobody's work is free.
Yeah.
And I feel like the people that really set themselves different is it's not always about the money. It's about the true, genuine
Connection
want and
want.
exactly to help and to actually serve other people. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and it resonates with all aspects of life, but hospitality in this day and age is so huge, especially for who we are in our businesses. Like, we really are parts of hospitality. We are servicing. We are, making sure that those people get from point A to point B correctly in that concierge service. So, like, in your business, I'm sure that translates back to all of that hospitality, coaching, because you're almost coaching first-time home buyers to go through the motions, and you're holding their hand as they
absolutely
get to point A to point B.
Do you know how stressed people get when they? Well, I'm sure you do, but buying a house you're in probably one of the most transitional periods of your life. I mean, that's a huge commitment. Like, buying a house isn't just, sign the papers and that's it. No, this is something that you're going to have either, well, when I started, I thought it was 30 years. Then I came to figure out it's more like 5 to 7 years. Yeah. But it's a huge transitional period, and a lot of people need help during that time.
Of course.
And I say this to all my clients, the house finds you.
It really does.
You don't find the house. And the more and more that I do this business, the more and more that rings true. One of the top agents in my office talked to me about the same thing. And at the time, I was just getting started. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. You're finding the house, and then no. But over time, you learn that really the house does find the person.
I agree. And it's almost like a pet. So do you have any pets?
I do.
What kind of pet?
I have 2 cats.
Very nice. So the way that I found my pets, I had a couple dogs growing up, and the one dog in particular, Jackson, we went into it's called Save a Pet, and it was just a local shelter that, just got animals that were either used, abused, or whatever it was, and they would try to find healthy homes. And there was a brand new litter that I guess got abandoned or whatever it was. They found it, in a garbage box on the side of the road, and there was about like 15 little puppies. They all looked the exact same. And I'm walking up, I'm like maybe 8, 9, maybe even 10 at that point. And I just go over to the little fence, and I lean over. And not a single dog wanted anything to do with me except for that one. Walked right up, head up. And I'm like, I want this. And I feel like it's the same way when people find homes. It's almost like you walk in and that energy just pulses through your body. And it's like, yeah, this is it. Like, and then they start envisioning, like, holidays, where the Christmas tree is going to go, the big Thanksgiving dinners, the kids and the dogs running outside, or even the cat just hanging out in bed, chilling, watching a nice little movie with the fireplace. It really hits back to energy, and I am a firm believer in that as well. Mm-hmm. And then take it a step further with how big it is. On the mortgage side, people hate me because I'm the guy with the money. So now everybody thinks, oh, I'm getting ripped off, blah, blah, blah. It's like, dude, I don't even charge you anything because I'm a direct lender. I don't charge you your points up front. I was like, I'm going to put you on my bottom bucket because I hate ripping people off. And then you have your recording charges, your state mortgage tax. And I literally just did it with a close friend of both of ours, a mutual friend. And she was like, John, I'm just so new to this. And I'm like, I don't know why you're getting frustrated. I was like, let me take 30 minutes out of my day to explain all of it. And she's like, wow, I needed that. And I feel like most people in our industry just kind of push and shove along, and it gets people nowhere. And then by the time you know it, it's just like, all right, I bought this house, and it wasn't an enjoyable process. Half the time, they were just so uncomfortable with the whole process, they didn't even get into the home that they wanted. Yeah. And I literally just heard about it the other day. Like, one of my buddies in the office was going over, just talking to a previous client, and they were like, I'm not really even happy with the house. And the kid goes, one of my buddy goes, why? And I just felt rushed. My real estate agent like pushed me, and just this was the house, and we're gonna lock this one up right now. And I feel like with what we've been talking about with hospitality and service, like it's almost doing a disservice to the community and almost putting a bad rep on our industry because it's like everybody's just so money hungry.
Do you know how bad of a rep real estate agents get? It is unbelievable. I mean, I think that number directly correlates, or that statement correlates with the number of agents that leave. I think it's 87% of real estate agents leave in the first 2 years. 87%.
And then the rest hopefully just stick with it.
Well, and the rest stick with it because they're the ones that want to be there. Dude, I can tell you the moment I get on a phone call with a real estate agent, are they a real one, or are they one that's just, doing this part time and don't really care?
Yeah, and I had like a couple sales that just like, oh yeah, it's my friends and family. It's my, it's my.
I do this part time. I'm just gonna sell my parents' house.
Oh my God, yeah. And,
so
and we rent.
it's. I think it makes it a lot easier to be able to differentiate yourself in our business, because the people, I tell you right now, the people that are the top 5% in our industry, they all know each other.
100%.
Everyone
They're
knows
all
each other.
friends, and everybody
Yeah.
hangs out with each other behind closed doors, and because the real recognize the real.
Yep.
And it almost transitions into what you do on your events. It's like putting the real in real estate. Like,
Yep.
not too many people are literally able to just get down and dirty, even though we're in suits and ties and whatever it is. Sometimes, like, we're not willing to go to the extreme and get dirty with our clients. Like, and I feel like we more people should.
Yeah.
It's not all about the paycheck.
The paycheck is the one thing you shouldn't look at. I don't even calculate my commission until everything's done. The check doesn't matter. You have to look at the people that you're working with. They're people that should be willing to grow your business in the future. They're not a dollar sign. It's disgusting.
Right.
Like I don't look. You can't do that in this business, and if you do, you're gonna get weeded out fast.
Very, very quick. 'Cause people are gonna catch on way too quick,
You
and they're
smell it
like,
from a mile away.
Exactly.
It's like you go to buy a used car, and it's some of them are great, right?
of course. No, listen, I had an Audi. I got it from a used car dealership, and that car was fantastic. Beat the balls off the thing. But, Audis get old, so whatever. Just like every other Audi, you got to give it back because the timing chain snaps and blah, blah, blah. But
Yeah.
to go back,
You got to pay a fortune. But what I'm saying is with car salesmen, just if I were to say used car salesman, everyone automatically they got
Cringes I want to throw up.
Yeah, they got something in their head about them. And the reason why I bring that up is because there are some good used car salesmen out there. There are some really good people that sell cars because they like doing it and they want to help people. But there's also a lot of them that aren't really that great, and it's just being able to weed out the bad and really, really find the good.
No, of course. So, we're on the whole topic of business. Now, I'm sure a lot of people that want to get into, starting their own business also read the same books that, we're reading. And I think the biggest thing is like, how do you manage going from 3 buyers, 2 listings, networking events, doing this, having your own podcast, and just maintaining a regular life? Like, what do you do
Yeah,
in that aspect?
Number one thing is time block.
So are you as serious as you have a calendar and you do everything to the T no matter what?
My life is dictated by my calendar. I like literally everything on my calendar is it's what I have today. For example, like I'll look the week before, I'll look at my calendar for the week, just kind of like take a little peek. Okay, wait, so this is what's going on, this is what's going on. But then the night before, I'll take a look and say, okay, this is what I got going on for tomorrow. And then I can, fill things in as time goes. But in the morning, I have a very strict routine, at least that I try to. Recently, haven't been, now that it's getting cold with the gym, it's been a little tough. Plus,
so hard to get up in the morning and walk out to your car at 7 o'clock. I get it.
But it's not just that. This is something that I've been trying to figure out is I was really passionate about the gym for a long time. And as time went on, it was just like a mundane thing that I was just doing and doing and doing, kind of like a chore. And of course, I guess what I'm trying to say with the gym is I haven't put enough time in to make this to make the schedule or to make the good routine that I'm excited to go to, and I have no goal right now of like what I'm trying to do. Like before it was, I want to shed X amount of pounds, or you want your biceps to get bigger, you want your triceps to get bigger, whatever it is, right?
I'm literally in the process of that right now. I'm literally counting my calories to lose 25 pounds by the summer because I'm gonna have a kick-ass fucking 6-pack.
Exactly.
And that to me is it drives me every single day because I'm not there yet. But I could also see how you're doing the same thing over and over again, where you almost fall into that trap of just like, all right, this is.
Well, the difference is you have a goal. You know where you want to go by this date, right? Right now, I don't have a goal. I don't have a date. I don't have any of that. And what happened was I had this like really bad problem with my stomach, like a gastro issue. And I hired a nutritionist. I figured it all out. I lost 25 pounds without even trying. Like, because I was cutting out everything, right?
Of course.
I had no gluten. I literally went on an elimination diet for 2 months. And if you do that, dude, you can just you
drop.
Yeah.
But now, how do you feel mentally, physically?
That's the thing. So then afterwards, you think it's all, when you're in it, it's pretty bad because, you're not eating bread. You're not eating pasta. Yeah. And you're so tired. So tired. And, after doing that, your brain starts to view food as negatives. Like, for example, when I finally could eat bread, I'm like, wait, like I shouldn't eat that though. Like it's gonna be bad for me.
Yeah, and then I'm sure you probably feel bloated the first couple times because your body's just not used to all those carbs and everything. It's almost like it's rejecting it.
Yep.
Which is beyond me. But I mean, why don't you start making goals for that aspect of your life?
It's a great question, and I have time to do it, and for some reason I just don't.
Dude, it's the hardest thing, and it took me so long. What actually sparked me in my whole fitness and mental health journey was honestly recently. My mental health was always really strong, and that's a whole different podcast in itself, I feel like. But on the topic of fitness, one of my best friends, she works here. She's our processor lifeline, Carolina. She sent me a picture of a year ago. I'm 24. I shouldn't look like I'm 28, 29. God bless, this helps me out a little bit, right? But she sent me a picture, and like I was so skinny in the face, nothing going on here, and I'm just like, oh my God, like this was exactly a year ago. I was like, no way. I was like, we gotta get to this, and it like literally ignited a fire like so deep, and I'm like, nope, gotta do it. So maybe you just need to find a why.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is that right now I just don't really have that why as to why am I even getting up to go, and because I've been maintaining, I've been eating healthy, but I gotta bring back that why.
And I feel like it transitions into not just more of the gym, it transitions into everything.
Yeah.
Business, personal lives, relationships, all of it. Like I feel like if you don't have that why, there's never going to be something that gets you up to fuel that fire every single day, day in and day out, to make sure that you're hitting your goals, you're achieving, what life was truly made to be.
Yeah.
And it's not to work a 9 to 5, in my opinion. It's to live passive and just create a beautiful family.
Well, that's everyone has a different why. And
of course,
some people a 9 to 5 is totally cool for them, and that's totally cool. Then some people would rather focus on just their family. They want to have a big family. That's all they care about. And if they're getting enough money to support their family, that's cool.
And by all means, God bless.
Yeah. So everyone's different, and I think that's what makes this world great.
So, what is your why?
Wow, big question. My big why, this took a long time, just so you know. I mean, really diving deep. The more and more that I thought about it, it was to help others. That's it. So that's why I wanted to do the business coaching, right?
Of course.
That's why I'm doing real estate right now. It's to help others. And I think innately that's just been in me my whole life. And to actually find what that truly was, I mean, took years.
And now, was there anything that maybe happened in your past that maybe like, and this might be too deep, and if it's too deep, please, by all means, like we could turn off the cameras and talk about it, off, but anything that, might have happened to you earlier in your life that made you almost like want to transition into helping, or was that always in you no matter what? Like, was there ever a point in time where like you felt neglected, you didn't feel like you were getting the help, so that almost like fueled your fire to be like, I never want anybody else to feel like this again, so now I'm going to almost make it a mission to go out and do these things for other people and like make an impact on the world?
I don't think anything negatively happened to me to make that happen. Besides, of course, when my friend passed away, he unfortunately did it due to suicide, and I felt that he actually called me the night before he wound up doing it.
Jesus Christ! And
when he called me, I was like busy or something, and I felt terrible. And then I called him back, and he never called me back. I said, "Is everything all right?" He said, "Yeah, no, everything's fine. Don't worry about it." I'm like, "You sure? Call me back." And he's like, "No, it's fine." He was at work too, and I'm just thinking about this now. And maybe it was the point of that I wasn't able to help him during that time that really brought me to where I am now, where I want to help people in general, because I feel like I might have let him down.
Yeah. No, that is really deep, and no doubt.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm a little speechless right now, but that I feel it. And
Yeah.
God bless you, bro. Like, that's awesome. And that is your why.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if actually, I feel like I just thought about that now, but like really that sits really well.
So to totally change it, I remember I was so nervous to do my first podcast, and you were like, bro, I want to be in person. I don't want to be over Zoom. He's like, when that energy starts hitting, and like, dude, I got goosebumps right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's impactful what you say and what you do. On that note, thank you so much for everybody coming out. But we're gonna wrap it up right now.
Sweet. Good job.